Hey everybody, what's up? This is Squeezy's World. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Hope you all had a great day. Hope you're enjoying your evening and everything like that. Hope everything's just fine and dandy with you all, and everything's healthy and wealthy and wise with you guys. All right, now look, I had this question put up to me, and it was a spot-on idea. And what it entails is about what happens after World War III hits America. What would happen? All right, what would start it? Number one, what would start it? EMP. 3 nukes, 350 miles up. One on the west, one on the east, one dead center. Can go off. And 99.8% of the civilian electronics in America would go dead. Gone. Gone forever. What do you think that would do to people? For one thing, they wake up, or even if it happened during the day, and all of a sudden their cell phones stop working, and they don't know what to do. Because half the people, their whole life's on a freaking cell phone. You know what I mean? What would happen? No money in the banks, credit cards don't work, nothing works. Lights, power, air conditioning, everything, heat, depending on what time of season, gone. Just cars don't work, don't work. What do you think people will do? Number one, panic's going to set in, and that's going to set in probably within the first 3 hours. And then after that, when they start thinking a little bit, these people are going to go, well, we need to get to the store. We need to buy food because we didn't buy food. We didn't buy any for 2 weeks. We need our food. And they're going to go to the store and find out that everybody else is at the store and there's no food. What do you do if you're not prepared? What's going to happen, in my humble opinion, is once an EMP hits and takes out every electronic device in this country, and we're not the only country. This is going to go off in probably every part of the free world. Maybe not China, because they're the ones probably be doing this. Maybe not North Korea, because they're probably the ones going to be doing this. Russia, I don't think they get in on it, but just saying. What's going to happen? I tell you what's going to happen, in my opinion. Anarchy. Total, unadulterated, full-blown anarchy within 7 days in this country. I mean, we're talking bang-bangs in the street, people going off, going crazy, trying to steal this and steal that, trying to get the last amount of water they can find, or at least a little bit of food they can find. And the cities itself, it's going to be hell on earth in the cities, any major city. So you want to make sure you're away from every major city you can be. Little towns, they'll come along later on in life, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road. You have a better chance in a smaller town area than you would anywhere near a major city. But you're going to have the gangs who run the cities halfway anyways, right? Well, they're going to scarf up on everything that's there, and everybody who's not a part of their gang is not going to get it, because they're going to survive any way they can. People out here, like where I live in the country. I live in a suburban area now, because at the point when I first got here, there was nothing here but one little bitty subdivision, right? That's all it was here, nothing but farmland. And you know how progress is, right? Farmland keeps dwindling, and houses and apartments keep going up and up. But no people who live on a farm, no people who have some land, that they have a place that you can go, or maybe you have a place that you can go, because we're talking anarchy. I mean, just think of the worst possible scenario you can think of. Anarchy. It's going to be crazy. They're going to be burning cities. They'll be burning little towns. People are going to go nuts. It's going to go nuts. And if you don't have plenty of this and stuff to go with them, and plenty of long-term storable food, ways, because you're still going to need ways to trade with other people, even when the dollar value is gone. Paper money's gone. They're using that to wipe the tushies with. You need gold, silver, any kind of precious metal, any kind of thing for barter you need, because this is going to be an utter clusterfuck. It is. It's going to be a very worst case scenario. If you can imagine a very worst case scenario within here in the United States and the border here, imagine that 10 times harder than that. That's the way it'll be. You can rest assured, because people will lose it. The people out here in so-called country, they're going to lose it. although they're going to be better prepared for it. So they're going to not be as friendly to people coming in and saying, hey, I need help. They're not going to care. If you're not part of their group or not willing to join their group, or you don't have some kind of a skill that they need, you're out of luck. You're just out of luck. And be thankful maybe they don't, you're going to think people are better than that. You're going to maybe think the human race, maybe we're better people than that. Well, when you get away from all food, you get away from watching your kids starve to death or your family starve to death, and you know how certain ways to go about and get something, you're going to just do it. You're going to protect your family in all ways, shape, or form. You are. And we're going to have to rely on the man upstairs, but it's still going to be very bad down here because he never said we would never suffer down on earth. He never said that. He never said that at all. So we are going to suffer if this scenario happens. Like I said, it will be Road Warrior on steroids. I'm serious. You think I'm kidding? Let's hope I am. Let's hope that never happens because, man, I don't live for that. But, yeah, when you talk about the SHT up hitting the proverbial fan, oh, man, big time. Big freaking time. It's just going to be, like I said, hell on earth. It'll be hell on earth. And the free world will never know what it's like to be the way it is today for you and your families in our society. And it's already degrading in our society some. You can see that. Just watch the news. It's already going Looney Tunes. It's just not Road Warrior-ish yet. We're coming. It's getting there. And our enemies know this. And so if they launch an EMP attack on America, they're going to sit back and wait. They're going to watch us destroy ourselves from the inside. I'm not necessarily convinced that we would have foreign troops on the soil. Not necessarily convinced of that. But if you remember, before COVID, that summer before COVID even hit, in South America, all the way down by the coasts, 2 full combat Russian divisions were training. That's right, in our hemisphere. 4, I think it was 4, 4 battalions of Chinese were on the western coast of Canada, and they were training. Now, if we have this scenario go on here, and our detection devices are down, half or 3/4 of our military are not in America, they're in other countries elsewhere. So we don't have the main forces. If we had to protect this country with military, we'd be very hard to do it. I'm just saying, we had this many foreign troops, southern borders, northern borders. I believe that they would reinforce them by tenfold, but they would wait. They would wait to see what happens. And maybe 3 weeks later, you might see a tactical nuke hit a military base that's still here, the ones that possibly still have missiles. They may see that. You would probably see very small localized nukes in a couple other little places. But I don't think it would be much. It would be a very limited nuclear exchange because they wouldn't need it. They wouldn't have to waste the time. We're going to destroy ourselves in that case of a scenario. So would it be bad after World War III started? You bet your $1 it would be a terrible place to be. Everything that you knew that was good about America or anything, the way of life that you had in America will be gone. And you'll be your own little law enforcement or whatever, wherever you are. Because the rule of law, out of here. You have to worry about police. What better mobs to worry about than highly motivated, highly trained, highly skilled, and highly armed, well armed. SWAT teams come together and form a group, along with the local police in your areas, form a group. Maybe they go to the prisons, they whack all the prisoners because, hey, they won't need them, or they turn them loose. And then the police and the state police, they all bring their groups of families and whatnot within the confines of the prison, especially the kinds that still have the big walls. That's a fortress. They can fill that puppy up with all kinds of food that they scarf from other people and the stuff that maybe they've done for their own, but they're going to know who's pretty much in certain areas got all the food. So they'll go there. But their families and everything will be inside these walls, and they'll have all the armaments they need to protect it. And the bad guys won't want to go there anyways because they'll be free running around doing whatever. We'll have to worry about that. Criminals, criminal gangs, out of prisons, crazy. I mean, real crazies. And this would happen if we had a complete, total blackout of all electronic devices in this country. And I'm talking no street lights, no, nothing. Zip. Nothing works. That's electronic. Nothing. The only thing that would work if people were smart enough to stick their whatever they want to put in there, communications, whatnot, little computers, whatnot, in a Faraday cage. And you can make one, you can still find lead foil out there. Aluminum foil is fine, but you trace all the inside, cover it up. Lead foil is the best. Don't take as much. You scream it all around. Put your goodies in there. Close the top. You're golden against an EMP. You're golden. And then after that's all done, you'll have what you need. Just saying. Something to think about. Solar power, the portable kind, is what you're going to want if one can afford it. A solar battery. A couple of them with solar panels. As many as you can possibly afford to an area that wouldn't draw a whole lot of, commotion. You'll need it because nothing else is going to work but the sun. Just saying. So, is this kind of gloom and doom? Yeah. Did I mention that we all have to have faith in the guy above? Absolutely. Jesus Christ, But like I said, he never said we wouldn't have hard times. He didn't. He never said that we would not have critical hard times. He never said that. So I'm just saying, keep your duckies in a row. Prep as much as you can, as much as you can afford without breaking a bank. Make sure you get the good things that you need. Make sure you do have these and stuff to go with them. Storable, long-term storable food, because that would be very long-term. And if they happen they did drop a couple nukes, some of that radiation could spread all over everywhere. Just saying, it could. And might be a while before you could fish in the streams or lakes. It might be a while before you can actually use the earth to grow food. So if you had a place which you could grow food, that'd even be better, So just saying, just think about it. Don't worry about it, but think about it. Because you can't never say never, In this world of ours, you can't ever just say never going to happen. You can't do that. Because it could happen anytime. An EMP could happen anytime. EMP could have happened as we're doing this video. And then, boom. But you would never know because I never will upload it. So, just saying, all right? So, hey, look. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening. Be good. Be careful. Keep your eyes and ears open. Watch what's going on in the world. Watch this, how all these countries are posturing themselves for war. And yeah, we have visions of, maybe these people are going to make a agreement, and we're not going to have war with them. But, at some point or another, we're going to have war. We're going to have and it's probably going to be a limited nuclear war. Just saying, everywhere it'll be a limited nuclear war. But the EMP, the electromagnetic pulse, is going to go everywhere. It just is. So you got to be ready for that. You just got to prepare whatever you need for that. And like I said, have all your stuff for barter because money won't be any good. Precious metals will be good, but things. I mean, and you say what maybe for barter? Whiskey. You may not drink, but have some whiskey. You may not smoke. Have some cigarettes. People will smoke. I don't smoke. But just stuff like that. Coffee. If you don't drink coffee, maybe you drink tea instead of coffee. Have some coffee for trade. Stuff like that. So never, ever really want to really trade ammo. You want to make sure the ammo you have is what the ammo you need. Or, if you think that something may go wrong, and you're thinking to go out there and you think you're going to find another extra weapon or two, and you're going to say, well, I don't have the ammunition to that. And so you buy some of that. But then again, you may buy some of that and never, ever use it. And trading ammo, if somebody knows you have ammo to barter with, they know you have other ammo. And that's something you may not want. You may not want anybody to know that until it's time for them to know it. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, then. Hey, look, there's nothing but love for you. I mean it. I truly mean it. Thanks you for being here. Give me a thumbs up. if you like any of this, tell me any stuff more. Did I miss something? I'm sure I missed something. I don't think of everything. The worst thing I can say, chaos. It's going to be chaos in the country after a certain amount of time. It just is. But let me know. Let me know. If you disagree with everything I said, disagree with it. That's fine. Be nice. You don't have to be mean. But I'm truly, it's nothing but love for you guys, and I really mean it. So be safe out there. All right. So take care. Be good, and we'll talk to you later.